So let's get this party started. We're here to talk about the new year and how we can make 2017 even better than 2016. In order to get a little perspective on that, let's look back at 2016. Right now, Wasatch Property Management has 63 stabilized communities in our portfolio. That's over 13,000 units, and we're averaging 95.4% occupancy across our portfolio. That's pretty remarkable. We also have 2 properties actively in lease-up, brand new properties being built in Utah that are in the process of getting their first residents moving on. And we have 8 more in development that are currently in construction. So as you can see, it's going to be a busy year for us here at Wasatch. Also, as a note, we only have 1 property at 90% occupied. All the others are considerably above, with 18 properties at 98% or above occupancy. So all you leasing agents on the call, congratulations. That means we have been working really hard all year to lease apartments, to renew current residents, and to keep our properties stabilized. Awesome. Hopefully today will give you some ideas that will help you continue that trend. So let's talk about 2016 and the training and marketing department here at Wasatch. In the year 2016, over 10,000 courses were completed by you, our on-site team members in Wasatch University. 376 of those courses were fair housing courses. Very important that we all participate in our annual fair housing training. I'm going to recommend that if you haven't logged in recently, you do so, because we have a new course curriculum on Wasatch University, and if you haven't taken your fair housing courses, now would be a great time to do that. Wouldn't that be a good New Year's resolution? There have been 598 leasing courses completed. Those are courses that help you with your sales skills, whether it's telephone skills, touring, showing, closing, and most importantly, our follow-up. So our leasing skills have been improved by those of you who have participated in those 598 courses. On a marketing side, in 2016, over 143,000 leads were generated. Those of you on site and with the help of our friends at Rent Dynamics have interacted with more than 143,000 potential customers. That led to 34,859 on-site tours. Holy smokes, were you busy? I think so. And you generated 12,171 new applications. That's amazing. Craigslist is one of our top traffic generators. Craigslist helped us generate over 35,000 leads, 35,000 qualified leads from Craigslist. That brought in almost 7,000 tours and 27,000 tours and 2,300 new applications. 2,300 new applications from you, posting to Roof, using your individual accounts and posting directly to Craigslist. You've created that magic. I'd say pat yourself on the back. That's a great job. You've also successfully signed 6,340 renewals. That's 6,340 residents who said yes again. Isn't that a great reaffirmation for the job you're doing on site? I think you can all be very proud about that. Now, the most fun is when we did the math on this one, you all have earned over $500,000 in leasing bonuses. $500,000. Take that to the bank, folks. So what we'd like to do is tie in training and marketing and what it means to you. It helps you by creating more interest and more leads for your properties. It helps you acquire the skills and fine-tune your skills to help you convert those leads into leases. It helps generate the customer service levels that we need to sign those renewals. And on a personal note, it puts money in your pocket. That should make us all really happy as we look forward to the new year. So what can we do to make 2017 even better? First of all, I'm going to suggest that each and every one of you take a look at that to-do list that you have. I'm sure you all have them. It's a big, long list on your desk. Look at that list and pick 3 things each day and move it from the to-do list to your get-it-done list. A list of just 3 things that if you do nothing else all day, you're going to get those 3 things done. This would be a great way to start whittling away at the top priorities that are on your to-do list. Some of us have things on our to-do list from last year and maybe even from the year before. Surely, I know that CPM you want to get is going to be on the top of your list, but that's going to take a lot of work and effort. So make sure you're doing something toward your goals every day. So don't be overwhelmed by a giant to-do list. Each day, look at your list, pull out 3 things that you can do that day, and focus on them. Yeah, the other thing we're going to recommend you do is really look at your list of priorities and ask yourself, is it productive and is it worth it? I've heard it said that it doesn't matter if you're doing things right if you're not doing the right things. Think about that for a minute. Be sure that the things you're focusing on today are the right things for you and your team. If not, you may need to rethink your priorities. Plan to get the right things done right. Don't worry so much about things that are not beneficial to helping you and your property and your team reach your goals. Have you had a meeting with your team this year to go over property goals, to go over individual goals? I love Overlook that you guys all know each other's goals, and I'm sure that you're going to be supporting each other in helping them achieve their goals. That'd be a great thing for everybody to do. Managers, do you know your team members' goals? Do you know what they want to achieve this year? And equally as important, do they know your goals? Do they know your property goals? Plan a meeting soon and have that conversation with each and every one of your team members. Let's see if we can't make 2017 our best year ever. And then schedule your time wisely. It's always best to start your most urgent priorities in the morning. It's also very important to put your creative projects early in the day. We know what happens as soon as it gets to be about lunchtime and the day just runs away from us. So really make sure that you're scheduling your priorities and especially your creative projects early. I'm also going to recommend that you do not have your email popping up on your screen every time a new email comes into your inbox. You need to manage your time and not let your day be managed by that inbox. At the very least, we ask that you check your email 3 times a day. First thing in the morning, once before you head out for lunch, and again before the end of the day. You may want to check it in between that, but don't use those pop-ups. All they do is distract you from number one and number two. Pay attention to the time robbers of your day, those things that suck your minutes away, and before you know it, it's the end of the day and you haven't gotten that get it done list complete. Email can be one of those. So can your cell phone, so can texting. Pay attention to where you're focusing and what you're doing throughout the day. Those quick little things you hop on may be the things that are derailing your New Year's resolutions. One of our focuses and priorities for the new year is online reputation management. Online reputation management is super important. Those of us who buy a lot of things online know that the first thing you do is check out the online reviews before you make a major purchase, even minor purchases. Sometimes, even after you've made the purchase, you go online and read reviews. 92% of consumers read online reviews before purchasing. 92% of consumers, including apartment renters. 70% of consumers have said that they will leave a review for a business if they're asked to. Have we asked all of our residents, especially our great residents, those who come in and say nice things to us in the office, want to compliment our maintenance team, or those who are signing those reviews? Remember, the 7,000 renewals almost. Are we asking all of those people who sign a renewal to also leave us a review? Important to note that 88% of consumers trust online reviews just as much as if a friend made a personal recommendation. That's a big number. 88% trust online reviews. Now, we can sit there and complain about only the crabby people leaving reviews and the different websites who don't have nice things to say, and it's never how we feel our property should be represented. Well, that's the time we need to take action. We need to take control. Get out there. Get active. Use your Let Your Voice Be Heard cards. Make sure every time a maintenance team member leaves an apartment after making a repair or completing a service request, that they're leaving a Let Your Voice Be Heard card for the residents so they can log on and review their service. Make sure that we are asking our happy residents to be leaving those reviews, because 88% of consumers trust them and 70% will leave a review if asked. So how do we manage your reputation online? It's a three-pronged effort. Rent Dynamics monitors and reviews most social sites. They reach out to you as well, asking you for input. Don't delay. When you get an email from Rent Dynamics asking for input on a review, make sure that you are customizing and responding so it's from you, not from an automated somebody 100 miles away who doesn't know what's going on your property. Here in the marketing department, we also read reviews, and we share them with managers and regionals when we think we can help. Don't be afraid to reach out to us if you have an online review and you're not sure how to respond to it. Pick up the phone or shoot us an email at marketing@netwasatch.com and we'll help you. We're happy to help. Knowing how important online reviews are, we certainly will help you with any review you'd like. And that leads us to your involvement. Your perspective and your point of view is so important. It's important that we don't get defensive about online reviews. Remember, it's that customer's perception. Whether it's true or not true, real or not real, it's what they believe. So look for points of improvement within reviews. Also, if you know who that person might be, and most of the managers I've spoken to about reviews can tell me who those people are, or maybe have a couple that it might be, reach out to those individuals. Thank them for their feedback. See what you might be able to do one-on-one to resolve their issues. It's not going to work every time, but it is going to work sometimes. So be proactive in getting your online reviews up, current, and reflecting the quality of service you and your team members really provide. Let's talk a little bit about mystery shops. I think it dovetails nicely with our online reputation management. Mystery shops aren't a pop quiz. We're not trying to trip you up. It's an opportunity for us to see your community and your performance from a different perspective. We're trying to understand the customer experience. So while it may not be the performance you thought you gave, it is the performance they felt they received. So it's just like going to a movie. You might have loved Rogue One, but one of your friends might not. Same performance, same actors, same environment, a different perception. It's not a right or wrong. It's a how did we make them feel. So really look at the mystery shop as a sneak preview of how our customers feel. And instead of getting defensive about them, say, how can I change that perception? If I want them to feel that I really care, or that I really want them to live at my community, or this is the best place for them to call their new home, what can I do differently? We also have set up our mystery shopping program to reward you when we catch you doing it right. So when we see things in the mystery shopping program that are exemplary, that score above 92%, we're going to give you rewards like money. Anybody like money? I like money. If you don't like money and you get too much of it, just send it to me. I'll take care of it for you. So let's talk about mystery shops. We're going to be focusing on mystery shops this year because we want to see the best of Wasatch. And we know you're out there, and we're going to catch you delivering exemplary service. We want you to know what is expected. No pop quiz. We give you the answers before we give you the test. We want to share with you the best techniques to achieve the desired results. The desired results is more leases. It's not 100% on the shop, but we will tell you that the skills required to get 100% on the shop will get you more leases. That's the way our shopping program's designed. We want you to keep an open mind when discussing areas of improvement. We want you to appreciate the shopper's perception of the call and the visit. Understand that a potential prospective resident might have the same perception as the shopper. The shoppers aren't out there trying to catch you doing something wrong. The shoppers are trying to document you doing it right. So understand that if a shopper feels that maybe they weren't welcomed, or they weren't attended to promptly, or that someone was distracted, a prospective resident might feel the same thing. So what can we do to make the perception our reality? When we're talking about the score, please understand that a score of 80% is the minimum. Anything less than 80% is going to need additional action. For instance, you'll be writing an action plan to help improve. Managers regionals, and the marketing department are all here to help you, give you the tools you need to succeed and improve. A score of 92 to 94 is considered very good. I'm sure we all want to be considered very good at our jobs, so make 92 to 94 your minimum goal. A score of 95 to 99 is excellent, and if you are a superstar, that score comes in at 100. Last year, we only had 2 employees with 100% shop. So we want to make sure this year that we have a lot more. Think about what you're doing on a daily basis and treat every visitor as if you knew they were a shopper. What's the worst thing that can happen? You don't get 100% on the score because they weren't a shopper? Oh yeah, but you might get an extra lease. So please, please, please get in your mind that every single person walking through the door is a shopper. You know they're a shopper, and you're going to treat them like they're a shopper. And we're going to see more leases and more 100% shops. So let's talk a little bit about the telephone portion. Telephone portion is the most important marketing tool you have. Very, very important marketing tool. We give you the questions before we give you the test. Here they are. Here's the sections of the shop that are going to make a difference. And by improving your skills in these areas, you will also be improving your lead to lease conversion and become more successful in getting more qualified traffic through the door. I've already heard from a couple properties this year that say, oh, traffic is so slow. The first thing I'm going to tell you is work on your telephone skills. Talk qualified visitors through the door. The greeting portion is important because it sets the tone for the entire visit. I'm sure you've had to call your cell phone company or the cable company or who knows what, some public utility company, and you knew the minute that phone was answered whether you were going to be happy or unhappy at the end of the call. Guess what? Our prospects feel the same thing when they call us. So let's make sure that our greetings set a positive tone and that we're using a positive affirmation. When someone says, do you have any apartments available? Answer with something, yes. Great, I'm so glad you called. I can help you with that. Make that positive statement at the top of your greeting so that it sets the tone for the entire call. Information gathering. We're not here to push information out. We are here to solve problems. So knowing your prospect's needs and wants will help you custom tailor the call so that you can successfully set the appointment and talk them through the door. The information that you gather from them and the rapport that you're able to build with them is cornerstone for your success. Demonstration. Why the heck do we have a demonstration portion on a phone call? Remember painting a word picture? That's what it's about. By demonstrating your apartment through the skills of painting word pictures and describing your community in detail allows you to grab the prospect's attention. Once you have their attention, you're more likely to be able to set that appointment. Invite them to visit your community. Make them feel as if you would like to meet them and like them to come see what you have to offer. Closing allows you to create a sense of urgency. And if possible, we want that prospect to come visit your community that same day. Mary, I'm so glad you called us today. I've got a beautiful one-bedroom apartment available right now. Is there any way you could come by this afternoon? I have a 2 o'clock appointment available. Set that urgency. If she can't come today, maybe she can come tomorrow morning. Professionalism. It's always important to build a professional connection with your prospect. Make them feel welcome and comfortable coming to visit your community. If you're very good on the telephone, you're going to see and greet that prospect at your front door. You'll notice that the key elements of an on-site shop are the same as the key elements in your telephone. Why would that be? Because sales is sales. The purpose of our telephone call is to talk the person through your front door. The purpose of an on-site visit is to get the deposit and secure the rental. The steps to make that happen are the same. So if you practice these 5 steps over and over again, whether it's on the phone or in person, you'll make it a habit, and that habit will become part of your excellence. On-site shops allow us to understand how the prospect perceives our property. It doesn't mean that the shopper never makes a mistake, but that is documenting what they believe they experienced when they were there. Think about that. It's what they believe they experienced. If you don't like what the shopper has to say, think about your behaviors. How can we improve that? If you do like what the shopper has to say about their experience, remember to include that in each and every visit that a prospect makes to your property. We can find ways to improve the way we lease by really looking at ourselves and our performance objectively. We can see what our strengths are, and we can see areas for improvement. Again, don't take it personally. Don't take it defensively. Take it with an open mind going, wow, I did that really good. Oh, maybe I can improve in this other area. And if you ever have any questions, when it comes to a mystery shopping report, we ask that you discuss it thoroughly with your manager. Managers, take it to your area leaders and regionals to have that conversation. And if it does need to have review, that's when we'll get involved. So please take a moment to discuss all your shopping reports with your managers and your regionals. Don't just fire back at marketing and saying, that's not right. Let's really look objectively at what that shopper had to say. Those of you that are in that 98% and above right now, and especially those of you who have wait lists and the tax credit communities who have a lot of paperwork that take a long time to process, remember, even when you have nothing available to rent, nothing available to rent, nothing available to show, you can still demonstrate the common areas. You can attempt to close by asking the prospect if they would like to go on your waiting list. We recently had a shop at Spring Villas in San Diego that was 100% nothing available, nothing to show. She still did a fabulous job inviting the person to join her wait list. So please remember, we're going to give you full credit for closing even if you don't have anything available, but you tour the common areas, you talk about the benefits of living at your community, and offer to put them on your waiting list and call them when something becomes available. All right? That is a close for those of you who are full. If you have anything available to lease at all, including an apartment other than the type they're looking for, you still want to go and attempt to close, because there's lots of people who are looking for a 2-bedroom apartment who might be willing to settle with a 1-bedroom if there are no 2 bedrooms, and there's plenty of people looking for studio apartments who'll rent a 1-bedroom if it's the perfect apartment home for them. So don't just say, oh, I don't have that floor plan available. Really look at their wants and needs and see if you can't make that happen. All of these tips work with real prospects as well as they do shoppers. So hone your skills, really work on these 5 areas in every call and every tour, and you'll watch your leasing success skyrocket. Follow-up, 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 follow-up. So when we talk about shops, and we want to give you guys money for getting excellent shops, we say there are 5 elements on each guest card that must be present in order to qualify for an additional bonus. You get 92% or above, and these 5 elements are entered in Rent Dynamics. We will make sure you get extra money in your paycheck. It's the coolest thing ever. So understand we need to see the call, the appointment, the show, the follow-up phone call, and the follow-up thank you note. A follow-up email can also be entered, and that's bonus points for you, but it does not take the place of the follow-up note or the follow-up call. So please make sure when you're entering guest card information into Rent Dynamics that you are entering those 5 elements. Those elements will transfer over to Yardi, and we'll be able to see them, and you will get credit for it. But we've got to have those 5. They should be in this order. Sometimes computers have glitches and it might be a different order, but this is what we're looking for. So remember 5 elements: call, appointment, show, follow-up phone call, follow-up thank you note. So why does follow-up matter? Why bother? Does anybody really care? Absolutely. It's a way for us to reconnect with our prospects and to find out where they are in the decision-making process. It reminds us, it gives us a chance to remind them that we are still available and waiting for their lease. Those of you who have shopped your competition lately, when was the last time you received follow-up of any sort? Yeah, probably not happening, is it? It's a way for us to remain memorable to our prospects. So let's just look at this statistic and see if I can't help you with follow-up. This is real data, real sales data for real sales activity. 80% of all sales are made after the 5th attempt. 48% of all salespeople attempt once and they give up. Almost half of the people make one attempt to close and they're done. That's it. 25% make 2 attempts and then they quit. 12% go the extra mile and make 3 attempts, then they stop. 5% quit after the 4th attempt. Here's where it gets really interesting. Only 10% of salespeople keep trying beyond the 4th attempt. That 10% of salespeople make 80% of the sales. So if you use our formula of the 5 attempts to sell on the phone, setting an appointment, attempting to close on the tour, a follow-up call, and a follow-up note, guess what? You've got 5 attempts to close with your prospects. You're going to be in the top 10% of all salespeople. You're going to close close to 80% of all sales. That's awesome. Do the math on that, guys. That is simple. Follow the rule of 5. So our friends at Rent Dynamics each month do our telephone quality review. We send that information out, and this year, in 2016, it was pretty amazing. Across all our properties, we have an average of 80%. That's our company goal. 80% is our minimum. It's important to understand we're focusing on telephone calls because most qualified prospects call first. Listen to that carefully. It's actually over 90% of qualified renters will call before going out and looking at an apartment. Why do you think that is? Most likely they're trying to save time. They're trying to not waste their time going to properties that don't meet their needs. By paying attention to your telephone skills, you're going to get more qualified traffic through the door. This is why when I get phone calls about our traffic's really slowed down, the first place I look is telephone skills, because our qualified traffic calls first. And if we are handling our telephone calls properly, we will get more qualified traffic through the door. So let's all make a New Year's resolution to work really hard on our telephone skills and see if we can't set more appointments and get more qualified traffic to our communities. Another piece that's really important is to understand that those who call first are 4 times more likely to lease than those that just walk in the door. So if you're setting appointments and you're scheduling your day based on those telephone appointments and not just waiting for someone to happen to walk through the door, you're going to have 4 times more success. The people that walk through the door, the drive-by traffic, are your least qualified. So let's set our priorities on the 90% who are qualified and not the 10% who just happen to drive by. So here we are. We've met a lot of you. I don't know that we've met all of you. Your marketing and training team has grown over the last year. I'm Kitty. I don't even think I introduced myself at the beginning of the call, but I'm guessing you know it was me. Jenny Carl handles most of our online marketing, and she manages our website, Is Your Home, for us. Tiffany handles Wasatch University and a lot of marketing requests. If you need the Let Your Voice Be Heard cards, or you need WOW certificates, or any of the training materials that we have available, Tiffany's your person there. Spencer Clayton helps us manage the integrations on the back side. Don't really have a lot of site-level interaction with Spencer unless possibly your pricing isn't integrated properly through Entrata, or you may have some other Entrata-related issues. Spencer's been doing a great job with our back-end integrations. And then Ricky Hemsley. Many of you in Utah know Ricky. We've recently seen a email go out to everybody that Ricky is now joining our HR team, and she's going to be helping with recruiting and training and onboarding of new employees. So we're really excited to have Ricky as a part of the marketing and training team too. So that's us. Don't hesitate to call us. All of us are reachable through one email address, so you don't have to try and remember who to contact. If you need help, marketing@netwasatch.com, and we are all here right at your fingertips to help. So as we wrap up our first webinar of the year, we want to help you stay motivated. And remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. So make that commitment today to get started on whatever your goals are, and let's all work together to make 2017 our best year ever. That's it, folks. I promised it would be short. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box or feel free to reach out to us directly. We're really happy that you were able to be here today. It was a huge group, and we'll really appreciate all you're doing out there for Wasatch and for your communities. Have a great day.